starting. Alright, stream is up.
And again, just share your
Double.
screen so that I can see what you see.
Yep. Do you want me to just share client-side stuff, or?
Whatever, however you want to do it, I'm fine either way.
Uh,
I'd like to be able to see the draft through this, but
they haven't
like,
sent me over the draft link yet.
yeah.
Alright. Looks like we got a Sad Jellyfish and Denver Nuggets. Sad Jellyfish currently 2-1, and also the defending league champs against Denver Nuggets, who, uh, even though they are 0-3, they've shown a lot of grit, a lot of good gameplay for being 0-3. So, Sad Jellyfish just came off their first loss last week. I believe Hair was noted that it was their first loss in like maybe a year almost. Let me see if we got some friendly banter going on. Um, Looks like they've already did the draft. I apologize for not catching that. So, oh, I forgot to introduce. I have a friend with me today. This is Penz.
Hey everyone.
Penz was a team captain the last time I played in the Midwest League for the Rec League. Super nice guy, super knowledgeable in bot lane, specifically a support player. Um, so he'll have a lot
Get
to.
prepared for a whole bunch of wrong takes from me, by the way.
Yeah, Penz hasn't played in a little bit, but he still has extensive knowledge. Especially if he starts seeing like melee supports brawl, that'll hype him up pretty quickly.
Just my
So, um, so yeah, let's see what we got here out of the draft. This is gonna be a
Oh, we got
surprise.
a sub in the top laner, yeah, for Team One here,
Looks that way. Yeah, yeah, we do. And actually,
and support too.
is that Winters at jungle? If the lineup is correct,
Oh, they might be out of order again.
could be, could be. We've had a couple of teams not really care about the order. Um, it looks like we got a Talia and a Vladimir ban, so a little bit of focus on mid lane. Talia just being a really good all-around pick. Fiora is so annoying for top laners to play against, especially if they prefer tanks. No bot lane bans. Ooh, Camille. It's a nice brawly top lane. Um, really hard to gank, but scales insanely well. Yeah, I'm gonna assume they're out of order. Um, so Renekton and the Camille. That's pretty Renekton favored. He can bully around that lane quite a bit. Um, Lysandra and the Diana. That's interesting. To my knowledge, Lysandra should be able to push Diana
I'd
around.
rather be home anyway.
Diana can like do a lot of damage early, but she tends to fall off.
I'm still waiting for the bands to show up.
Oh really?
On what I'm seeing, yeah.
Okay, see if I care.
I'm so.
Are you sharing your screen on Discord? 'Cause it did,
I
show.
am now. That is my
Ah, there we go.
my apologies.
Oh,
I
good
thought
man.
I already did that. Well,
Well, I guess now I can close YouTube, so that's good.
yeah.
I'm
Let
gonna
me
keep it open just in case it
actually
does something
check
funky.
that the YouTube is working.
Yeah, I could hear volume through it. It's like a little bit delayed from us, but
Okay, cool, cool.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, Zyrogen. I've played that bot lane a few times. That's one route can mean a lot of kill threat, but I think Braum should be good at negating it. Just gonna be a matter of whether or not he can stay in lane without getting whittled down.
yeah, I actually really like the Braum just in that comp in general. There's a lot of auto attackers there, and correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Renekton W proc it a few times as well? Braum passive.
Well, it's only gonna proc once until the cooldown goes off per champ. But yeah, Renekton will like insta proc it because it only needs three more stacks once Braum autos accuse somebody.
Okay.
So if Renekton does the empowered, he gets a triple auto, and that's just enough. So it's a stun into an instant stun. I guess it's a little bit of a overlap, but
Yeah. And actually, I made a rookie mistake. I did not change the YouTube title.
womp womp.
So that is my fault. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like no, I'm sure blanking on the team names here. Our left team, they've got 3 subs, so I don't recognize top, mid, or bot here from them.
Winters, I believe, played mid lane the last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like
Right.
he's over at the jungle right now. Um, I wish we could see the summoner names on the right side because I'm blanking on it as well.
Hmm.
Let me just go over to the Midwest account real fast and change all of this.
I guess I'll fill the space a little bit. You mentioned liking the Braum pick, and I definitely agree, but not just because of like the double marksman plus Renekton to be able to stack that up, but also because he's against a lot of champs that want to dive into him, and he's really good at just being like, "Oh, you want to stand here with me? You're gonna get stunned. You're gonna take bonus damage," and he's just really good into like melee clump comps in general. So Viego and Camille and Diana might have a harder time doing their job, and then he can also throw up the Unbreakable and prevent Jin from firing his ult over top of everything, which is really nice.
Okay. Uh, I've changed the title. We should be good there.
Right on.
Yep. Still learning all of this. Normally, Hair does a lot of this stuff, but he will be over on the Twitch channel doing another match. He is doing. He's doing Load the Cannons versus BBL. He'll be doing that on Twitch. And then I will come back around at midnight and do Hairwiz's game, which will be Small Brain versus
A
Summoner Duo.
non-stop night of a fun league.
Yeah, yeah. Around Thursday, Friday, these teams start to confirm their matches, so it can get really chaotic. I think last Saturday we had 2 matches at the same time again, or it was
Yeah,
week 2. I know you've tuned into quite a bit of that.
yeah. I tend to clog up the chat here and
So, hey, we appreciate it.
there.
So, um,
I know it always did a weird like hiccup every time it actually goes into the game, so I'll let you know if I can see what you can see in just a minute or not.
okay, yeah. I'm
Okay, we should be
showing a
good.
loading screen.
Yeah, I got that now. It
All
was the
right,
black screen for a moment, so I was a little concerned.
sweet.
What's your take on the like? I know you touched on it a little bit, but like, how do you feel about Lissandra into Diana?
Lysandra
Like,
got a lot of love from Riot recently. I know they're planning on nerfing her next patch, but she just has a lot of early wave clear with the base damage on Q and the AP ratios that they increased on her. Into Diana specifically, if she can play the spacing game really well, she can keep Diana at like an arm's reach. And when Diana goes in, um, they're both going to trade a lot of damage. Diana kind of wins the trade early,
okay,
but it starts to become Lysandra favored pretty quickly. I'd say after about an item and a half.
so we've got a 5 stack here from blue side. Curious to see if Ash walks a little bit too far, or if they catch somebody on an invade or something.
Yeah, let's see if they.
Because the Zyra route into Jin route will lock them down for a fair bit of time.
Oh, and then Camille starts with the E as well, and that is
Jin first blood.
first blood for the Jin, with enough time to back and take advantage of that.
And the only summoners that were committed were the well, I guess Viego Flash, which he can probably get that back up before he really needs it, and the Zyra Ignite. And Jin is I don't know about you. Oh yeah, that's true. Jin is one of the champions that when I was playing, like he was one of my like top 2 like I int into this champion like really hard. Like he snowballs really well, in my opinion. So I am curious to see if they'll be able to make use of that extra longsword that he comes back with.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like the long sword off the first blood, or do you think boots might have been a little bit better?
Dude, I have no idea about ADC itemization. I played my role and knew what I thought about like champion matchups, but in terms of items, I'm not that smart.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of what I thought. Lissandra's level 1, she gets an early push, but then once the other champions against her get levels, she can be kind of pushed around the lane a little bit. Grasp on Camille is not bad. So definitely want to be tanking into this Renekton matchup.
It's looking like Brahms. I don't know if he should be allowed to stand up that far. Because if they can contest for level 2 earlier, that's going to make it a lot easier to lane for this first little bit.
He does have Guardian, so I think he can kind of absorb that pressure a little bit early.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get an early push on this Camille. It's kind of what we expected this lane to be. And looking at the lane state, I mean, mid's even, so Diana didn't drop any CS getting pushed in level 1.
Kindred should be in a good spot here, actually, because, like you mentioned, all the lanes are pushing for red side here. So she should have her choice of a Scuttle Crab when those pop up.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for getting her mark.
That's actually really interesting that, well, we have the Empowered W by Renekton breaking that Camille shield. It's one super nice thing about this matchup. Because I don't know about you, Camille shield is still obnoxious.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Although if you hit the wrong champion and get the wrong type of shield, like outside a lane, then it can be kind of useless.
And I would expect Kindred's mark to show up bot lane, but looks like we got an invade here by Salt on Lissandra. And Viego doesn't have flash, remember, from that level 1 invade?
That's correct.
Oh, the red buff burn.
I was wondering if red buff burn was gonna do more than red buff heal. Turns out it does.
Yeah, they rotated to try and help out that Viego, but with all the prio that that Salt and Dippy created with their matchups, they just got there a little bit earlier.
And you see also there's that ward in the banana brush by mid on the top side.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, Lissandra had set that up so she could see the Viego coming, so it was almost like a little bit of a trap when he came to look for that Scuttle Crab. And is the one that Kindred took, was that the mark? Or did Jin and Zyra deny it
Let me click
on the bot side?
fast. She does have one mark. So
One
I
mark,
don't
so it's
know.
either from Viego or from the Scuttle Crab, not certain.
Yeah. Yep, I'm trying not to touch the spectator too much.
That's fair. Got Viego wrapping in behind for a gank here.
See if he can. Oh, that's a nice preemptive flash by Camille.
Yep. It's a really aggressive look from the Renekton. I think he could have just flashed out because, again, no flash on the Viego for a little bit longer. But if he got that kill, it definitely would have been a very nice turnaround there.
Renekton getting gold early, like first back in Tabbies. I'm sorry, I'm never calling it steel plate. Is like it's gonna be super impactful, especially if he gets ganked again. Because not only does it still block like some auto attack damage, but Diana's fairly auto attack reliant as well. So it still has value when they side lane against each other potentially.
Looking here at the CS. Oh, we got some action here.
Boy, that was actually a really nice flash by Zyra there. Because if
Yeah.
she got stunned there, she was dead easily.
And there wasn't too much to be traded back on against the Ashe, but it was nice for the Jin to at least take a little bit of a look at get what you can
Oh, we had
out of a
another
negative trade.
We got some fighting in mid and in bot.
I don't think it's. Oh, never mind. Flash will do it.
Yep. See if this 4-shot does a lot. Oh! That's another kill onto Jin.
Yeah, that's definitely something that is nice to see. It's too bad that the Jin's not around to pick up the CS here. But when I see these two drafts, like Jin and Zyra are both really happy to snowball a lead and put a lot of pressure on, especially like when they hit level 6. That combo with like but with the multiple roots and like all the Zyra plants with the ult over top of it, it is so much damage. It's really easy to get kills there. But at the same time, if Braum and Ash were able to stabilize, I think that Braum might be able to absorb most of that.
Got a river fight here. Camille at level 6 locks up this Kindred. See if he can get this kill real fast. Oh, he did. All right, so Kindred won't be able to get a mark off that. Diana coming in and doing a full combo, not doing much. That Zyra's rotating up.
Everybody wants grubs.
Oh, this is a big engage if Lysandra can get there. Yep.
Yeah, Zyra's still a very, very squishy champion. So.
Yeah, the Lysandra Q slow when she goes forward is obnoxious, especially in the early game when you don't have boots and don't have resistances. And look at this.
Yeah, I think Diego might have to flash again here.
Yeah. Oh, the Braum passives. Oh, Diana's trying to dive this Lysandra. Or no, Lysandra's diving Diana, I'm sorry.
Mission accomplished.
Yep. See as Jin can hit all these shots. Oh, the Ashe ult stopping Jin's ult.
That's pretty clutch.
That is.
Grub's still gonna go the way of red side here. Blanking on the team name. Sad Jellyfish, right?
Yes. Yes, that Jellyfish is red side. We have Denver Nuggets on the other side. Grub's going over, denying us from Camille. Definitely helps combat the split push later in the game.
Absolutely, and then the other thing too is that you've got multiple marksmen, so you can really, really work on those towers as soon as you start getting multiple members on them, especially if they end up getting the next 3 grubs. So I think that's going to be really important for Denver Nuggets to try to prevent in the next few minutes. Also looks like we got CS leads all across the board for Sad Jellyfish here, so doing a good job of picking up all that free gold, I guess you can call it, on the map, making sure that the reliable income is staying consistent.
We got a big river fight here. Sandra with a big engage there, but had to ult herself to buy some time for her team to come up. This Jin is just starting to pop off on a lot of these fights. Also, Denver Nuggets taking the dragon there. I actually think that's a nice prevent dragon against Sad Jellyfish's comp. I feel like they're so far ahead that if they got the Mountain Drake and started to index in the tank stats, like, there's not much, chopping down any defensive stats. Jin's not known for it. Oh, Camille trying to stop this Kindred invade. Oh, and then we got fighting in the bot lane.
Action all across the map.
Oh, does Camille get a hold?
That feels bad.
Yep.
I was gonna touch on. I don't really know why. I'm just trying to remember which team actually pulled off the Drake. Okay, that was blue. Yeah, I don't really know why Sad Jellyfish was trying to contest on the Dragon, especially when they saw the amount of people that were there, because they had multiple members up on that top side quadrant, so like they knew it was going to be a disadvantageous fight for them. And it's just the first Drake, right? So like, yeah, it's annoying that they're a bit tankier, but you don't need to.
Here.
For it.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Didn't turn out to be much. She's given up a lot to Renekton top now for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting decision there. Oh, it looks like.
Speaking of interesting decisions.
Yep. That was an interesting invade. I think he felt like with all his teams there, he was going to get a piece of that, but it just collapsed so much quicker.
Yeah. It's a rough one.
Yeah. And that swings the gold. We got a 3,000 gold lead for Sad Jellyfish here. But Denver Nuggets has the gold on the right carriers.
Yeah, you definitely want that on the Jin there.
Yeah. We're seeing something that just started developing this season. I know you haven't really followed it that closely, but Static Shiv on Jin. Jin just clears
Okay.
waves so much easier with static shift.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he can struggle to finish off the waves, especially like earlier on.
Full Eclipse by Renekton. He's going to be able to bully this Camille for quite some time. Still,
Yeah.
he's got 4 plates off that Camille TP, so Grub's putting in work on top lane.
And the 4 kills and 30 CS difference isn't gonna hurt either.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think this Camille can leave her tower right now.
Probably not.
Yeah. And actually, it looks like she might get dove here.
She's got the Viego in the area. I think it's mostly red side just looking for the grubs again.
Yeah. Oh, big engage by Lissandra.
Very nice.
That Jellyfish starting to be able to move all over the map. Oh, making Kindred burn the ult here. It's gonna be a big turnaround. Oh, that Jin 4 shot just misses just a little bit. Oh, this Croc is massive now.
Oh, yeah.
That's also like a rough place to fight Lissandra, because if she gets a kill, man, those passives start to really do a lot of damage.
Absolutely. And oh, it's not even over yet. Wow. Both subs burned.
Oh, big block by Rom there. Blocking that 4 shot.
Kinder might have to leave the 5th one.
Oh, this is stun.
No, never mind. Gonna stick around and fight it.
It stuttered right at the spot where I thought Viego could have killed Lissandra and gotten another passive reset.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got 4 shot lined up. Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that before. That's a fun one.
Block the 4 shot.
Yeah, you look like you're gonna die, and it's like, just kidding. It didn't even touch me.
Yep.
Yeah, and now Sad Jellyfish have. Oh, hold on, we got more action here.
This team's like fighting.
Yeah, they're just
Dino
so far ahead at
was-
this point. So dope.
Yeah, Diana ult was so
Wallet.
close to coming off cooldown.
Oh yeah. Yeah, at this point, I don't even feel like the 6 grubs is necessary. But again, like if this game had been more even, that might be like just a really big tool in the hands of Sad Jellyfish to be able to open up the map more with their double marksman. Anytime that like Ash and Kindred get like a moment with those towers, they're just gonna be gone.
Yeah. A lot of big item spikes coming in from Sad Jellyfish as well. They're just definitely so far ahead. Renekton sitting on 2 items and Camille hasn't even finished Triple Force yet.
That's what feels bad.
Yeah. I do think Denver Nuggets, like getting that first Drake, and in my opinion, probably the more valuable of the 2 Drakes.
Out of these 2, I would agree. Yeah.
They prolonged at least the game another 5-8 minutes.
I'm not convinced. Given like the lead that they've already got, I don't even know if they need to play for Soul at this point.
Yeah. That Lissandra can one-shot Jin, Zyra, even Viego easily now. Though
Yeah.
I'm not sold on the Malignance on Lissandra. I know it makes sense, she values her ult, but her ult's already at such a quick cooldown. Oh, that's a lot of ults from Viego. And
You know the game is kind of toast when the support can just flash forward and queue with no vision in your side of the jungle.
yeah. Yeah, but if anybody's gonna do it, I mean, Braum can just tank so much with the E.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen too many of their games, but Marcucci isn't the most reserved player on the Rift, is he?
Marcuti? No. He loves the roam. He loves to affect the map. He's just known for doing all that. I was fortunate enough to cast another one of Sad Jellyfish's series, I believe, last week, yeah. And Marcuti was everywhere.
Oh well.
Oh.
Okay, so we're still seeing some of. Oh, never mind. Again, had the gold been a little bit more even, like that's some of the power that Jin and Zyra would have had. Like again, their combo is really devastating if you're not down 10k gold at 16 minutes.
Camille
But
did TP and got the kill and the shutdown off the Lissandra, so that's a nice chunk of gold in her pocket.
yeah, a bit of a consolation prize for sure.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Dude, just look at the vision on this map. Like it's just all red everywhere. I think I'm seeing like one blue or two blue wards, and it's so hard. It's to like if you're the team that's behind and you don't have control of the map, it is so hard not only to like place down vision and like try to like find any value out of it, but then to be able to like defend it as well. It just feels so miserable from that point of the game.
Yeah, they're just super far ahead now.
Yeah.
I think the thing that like strikes me looking back at this game a little bit is this Diana pick. I think Diana like just face rolling into the enemy comp when you have Kindred, Braum, Lissandra, even Renekton. I don't think she's going to be able to have the big team fight, the big ults, and even if she does, they're just not going to be enough.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that the red comp here just denies a lot.
Oh, this proc is massive, but they left.
There we
they
go.
left this
Check
Ashe
out the
there,
command. Just hashtag ADC life, right?
so yeah. Oh, Lissandra passing going nuts now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like the red side draft here. It just, in my opinion, denies so much of, especially like the top half of the Nuggets draft wants to do. And I would have loved to see the order that it got picked in, just to see kind of what led to what.
Yeah, I'll see if I can try to get that link so we can look at it a little bit.
For sure.
See what it is.
Here's that Brown just saying that Jin's ult means nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lissandra passing on top of once goes down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a 1,000 shutdown. But they're just flexing it now.
Game should be over for sure.
Yeah. Oh, such a feels bad there.
Yeah.
Oh, Static Shiv kills both Lissandra and Braum. Oh,
Hold
this
on,
game
we
continues.
got a chance in the game here.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm a believer, but imagine if Denver Nuggets comes and wins off of that BM.
That would I'm sorry. I would just that would be hysterical. Especially
would
the
love
fact that just the way Jin got the double kill.
With the static shift.
Static Shiv kills Braum and Lissandra.
Yeah, you thought it was for wave clear. It's actually for base defense extra gold.
Yeah. This Renekton's at 4 items now with GA. Oh.
Dude, I'm trying to remember the last game I saw somebody get 19 kills in 20 minutes.
Yeah, Dippy has shown that he's one of the premier top laners of the league. I think looking back, you said he hasn't played a repeat champion this whole
Yeah, let me
season.
check if this is one of them that he's played or not. No, he hasn't. It's been Camille, Jace, Trundle, Mundo, followed there Maokai, Gasante, and now Renekton. So he's just, guess he
playing-
wants to show everybody how deep his champion pool is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know, I remember, I believe it was the Mundo game.
Okay.
Or, no, it was the Maokai game from last split, or last week. Into War's Nautilus top.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both people pulling out some flexes there.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them, it was an amazing, like, just top lane fight to watch.
Oh yeah. Nautilus
yeah.
versus Maokai was like just like the ultimate wet noodle fight.
I mean, they brawled quite a bit, yeah. But, Maokai just runs that lane over, we found out.
I'm not entirely surprised, just because again, like if you're just like constantly point blank, like fighting, like Maokai's got the sustain to keep doing that, whereas Nautilus like
Oh,
blocks.
this proc is not here.
That is a dive.
Yep. Yep.
But imagine that you turret dive into the middle of a Zyra ult and a Diana ult in the base, and you lose nothing.
Yeah. And the next
And
one.
Braum making sure that his teammates stay alive, protecting their KDA. That's a lore accurate Braum right there.
Yep. Stand behind.
Hmm.
All right, so we've got Sad Jellyfish taking the first game with
Yeah.
Dippy doing 28,000. Oh my goodness. That is a lot.
So I know it might be a bit of a tall order, but like looking at that game, is there anything you feel like Denver Nuggets can do to try to mitigate some of that lead and maybe clutch out a game two?
Um, it's hard to say. Like I still look at this glaring Diana pick. I mean, 0-10 and 2, but I can't really like put it all on the player. Just looking at what this Diana's got to play into, it's really really hard. Um,
Hmm.
if they blind pick the Diana and thinking that they could flex it to jungle or mid, if they responded with like Renekton, Lissandra, that's still like a rough one to play.
Yeah.
Um, but I felt like the Camille did well until Renekton got a bunch of gold on him. I felt like Viego got put behind a lot on the invade. I just felt like Denver Nuggets didn't pick the strongest lanes around
Right.
Viego, which I think Viego's there to like supplement strong lanes and really help him out. Um,
Well, I do think, and we saw this not right off the hop because they were late getting to lane. Um, we did see bot lane with the Zyrogen had been winning a little bit. Again, I do think like Braum Ash can deal with that decently well. Um, but I think I agree. I think overall the draft looked like it needed a bit of work, both in terms of like you said, getting a bit more control on the map, like having some lanes that like not all three lanes pushing against you when you like go to check the river for scuttle would have been nice. Because again, like Viego walked up and like before he was even in the river, like he got rooted up in his own jungle and died before there could be any response.
mhm.
Um, and then aside from that, it's hard to say past draft and what that led into. Um, except maybe I feel like some of the TPs didn't really amount to much. I do remember the one time like Camille came down and Renekton just got a whole bunch of plates. So I think being maybe a little bit more decisive on where on the map they're allowed to be and where on the map they should be, like what they can give up and what they can and what they don't want to like just like release for free. Like again, like a whole bunch of plates to the Renekton later on.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I had to remake my draft scene. Since now
Oh,
we do
good.
have a spectate link for this, so
Oh, wonderful! I actually get to watch the draft.
that you do. Let me share it to you on Discord real fast.
Wonderful.
And there she be. Let me know if you got any issues with that.
No, no, I see it perfectly. Okay, so bands we've got sad jellyfish is on the red side for sure.
Uh,
I guess they should be. They'll be the ones who set it up, right? So,
yeah. It looks like Denver Nuggets wanted blue side again.
hmm,
So interesting there. Denver banning, if I remember correctly, the same champs as last game.
right.
So
Commander Haku on Sad Jellyfish does have a few games of Wukong, and I don't know what Oh wait, I'm looking at these backwards, aren't I?
mhm.
Yeah, I am. Never mind. Denver Nuggets don't want to see that Braum again, though. He did put in a lot of work. I don't know if that was specifically because he was Braum. Uh, like I did mention, he was good into the comp, but I think a lot of it was also that wherever Marcuti ended up going, he did often have numbers with him. So even like that first play onto the Viego by the Grubs, he kind of just or maybe I'm thinking of the second Grubs actually. Yeah, the second Grubs. He basically just like walked into the jungle by himself, and it looked like he was like like flexing. He's like, "Oh look, I'm just so strong. You guys are so far behind. I can do this." But he had his whole team behind him, so he basically was able to walk up and just have like, a whole bunch of follow up. And I think that if he gets put on any tank, then he should be fine to do that.
Yeah, and the Seraphine first pick is interesting. They could have flexed
Mhm.
that around, but now showing Soraka, we kind of already know that Seraphine could. Well, I guess Seraphine could go AD carry. Um,
Yeah, it could be a Soraka Seraphine
well,
lane, and
well, not
with the
anymore.
Fizz, I'm assuming that it is a Soraka Seraphine.
Yeah, yeah, that looks like it now with Fizz showing. Um, Fizz not a champion we see a lot of, and actually, it's interesting that they picked Fizz knowing that Salt played Lissandra last game, and that's traditionally like Lissandra has no issues with that matchup. So
What I'm curious about here is so we have Annie, Brand, and Amumu. Two of these champions can be played in the jungle.
yep,
Three of these champions can be played support. Two of these champions can be played mid. So I'm really curious. Like I know it's not all standard depending on what you're doing, but I'm really really curious to see which roles they end up getting flexed to. But I do want to point out I love the Amumu with the like the Annie and Brand. Like that's a lot of like lockdown, but also because of how Amumu's passive works with just dealing bonus like true damage when like with like on top of like any AP damage that gets thrown onto the people he marks. That's gonna be a lot of damage thrown down in in a very big area of effect. So
hmm
any like straight up uh wombo combo team fight where you just kind of all run in and smack your heads together is I think gonna go inside Jellyfish's way.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
even
I mean,
convinced that a Soraka R is gonna do enough there.
yeah, I'm not so sure either. I mean, if they like land the combo on like a frontliner or even Fizz, though Soraka plus Seraphine, I mean, shields, heals, it's
True.
a lot of stuff. Though, if Sad Jellyfish's comp gets ahead already, like Annie and Brand can just blow up one of the utility champs pretty easily.
Yeah.
Um, Annie and the Fizz is not something I've seen. Well, okay, is it Akshan top? Is it Akshan mid?
I don't. I'm completely lost at this point.
Um,
Like everything can go everywhere, and I don't even know what to think.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for making this a little difficult for us, Sad Jellyfish. Zach is an interesting pick. Um, I think he actually has value in the Annie and the Bran, like long range engage. But it's gonna be like who goes in with him.
Well, I think what you can do is you can do the Zac engage with the Seraphine over top, like the Seraphine ult over top, so you can definitely CC a lot of targets that way and have Fizz just kind of dive bomb.
hmm
But my concern, okay, Jax, um, my concern again is if you're just jumping point blank into this like uh sad jellyfish like circles of terror comp, so to speak.
hmm
Um, I think you're just gonna get blown up. Like I don't know that the Seraphine shielding and the Soraka healing is gonna be enough. Again, maybe for Zac it would be. Um, but I was thinking that like it might be better just to like try to play it a little bit more slowly and not fight like it, not engage right off the hop. And also that Poppy with the what is it, steadfast presence, or is
Yes,
that
I
a Brown
believe you're right
ability?
with that. Yeah.
Um, is going to be able to negate a lot of that engage from the Zac. She's just going to be able to, oh, I see him diving in, I press W, and he can't do his thing now, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm not convinced that Denver Nuggets have an easy time here
I'm still kind
coming
of
into.
wondering where all these champions are actually gonna go. Like, is, is
Yeah,
this a
every single one of them can flex to at least one different role, if not two or three.
yeah? Like my brain looks at this and goes potentially Akshan, Amumu,
I'm absolutely
bot, Brand jungle. Like I don't.
That'd be interesting. I okay. I think Man, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every
I
time
don't
I
know what
think
to
I've
go
got
with.
it,
Like there's two or three like
I'll be
combinations
surprised
of
if it's
it.
not the Poppy or Mumu jungle, I think.
Yeah, but then I think you're asking like Brand or Annie to be top lane. Like I think it has to be Poppy top,
Oh, maybe.
or it could be
It
could
could
be
be, it could
Akshan
be
top
the
too.
Akshan. It's like a
Mm,
puzzle, and I don't have the tools to like. There's too many variables, and none of them are solved, so I can't like figure out like. As soon as I see where that top gets locked in, I think it becomes so much easier.
yeah.
Looking at the Seraphine Soraka though, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like a Branny, a Branny, and I can't speak. What happened to me? An Annie brand bot lane, or either one of those with the Akshan, so like a double ranged bot lane.
Not
Um,
officially.
just because I think trying to engage into that, I don't think you're really gonna have enough damage to eat through all of the sustain that they have, and I think it's gonna be hard to generate priority with a melee champion against that.
Yeah. I'm. I don't know. I'm curious to see this load in and just see where all of these champions are going. If they're in order,
If they're in order, it is the Branny bot lane.
the Branny bot lane. I've never heard that, and I love it.
I'm proud of myself. It was an accident the first time, but I'll roll with it.
What
There's no way that's Soraka mid though, right? There's no way that
I don't think
Denver
so.
Nuggets is.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No, I think it's Fizz mid,
I
Seraphine,
agree.
Soraka bot lane. I'm just
Yeah, I think
thinking
my
like,
biggest complaint here, like I know Seraphine can deal like a decent amount of damage later, but like unless your entire goal is get Jax ahead and win through split pushing, I don't really feel like they have enough damage to team fight. Like they can sustain a decent amount, and like to be fair, like Zac healing plus like Soraka plus Seraphine is gonna be impactful, assuming that they don't fall into the same deficit they did in that first game.
mhm.
But I feel they're lacking consistent damage.
Yeah, I feel like if it is the Branny bot lane, I had to get that in. I don't know if they have enough damage to punch through like Soraka Seraphine. Um, but I think you're right. Once they start grouping up, there's not really any consistent damage. Like Zac goes forward, Seraphine goes forward, Fizz R hits somebody, but then what after that? There's
Well, like you look at Brand, right, and it's like it doesn't matter. You can put him behind. I absolutely hate like playing against this champion because he can be like one item at like 18 minutes into the game, and you find one team fight in the jungle, and he still does the most damage in the fight. And so I don't think that overall the damage is going to be a big problem. Like as
it's hard to say because like I see a
yeah,
world where Seraphine and Soraka get ahead, and they may be able to shield and heal through the brand damage.
maybe
Um,
like the only angle I'm seeing, short of fighting without like Poppy being there to stop the Zac engage, is if Fizz or Jax gets a flank and actually manages to kill a couple of these backline members on the side of Jellyfish.
yeah,
And I don't think, given how slippery Akshan is and how much CC is available to the other two backline members, like if you can wait, like if you can bait them into using their abilities, like on Zac or something, and then you show, like that is basically the only angle I can think of where you're actually getting rid of the actual threats on this team.
yeah.
And if you can't do that, I'm not convinced that it's going to matter.
I see.
Again, I guess maybe you can play like the long poking game, but again, I don't think Zac, Jax, Fizz are going to be really great for that.
I don't think so either. And even if there's a world where Annie brand a Mumu, which a Mumu is going to amplify the magic dealer's damage,
Yeah,
which is scary. But even if they can't punch through this, Akshan's still going to provide consistent damage, being able to right click, and overall, like they're just never. they don't have enough lockdown for this auction. So
Yeah.
it's
You know what? I wouldn't hate to see here instead of the I can't see now that we're in transition here, but instead of what was it? The Fizz. I think I would have liked to see um Seraphine go mid, and then you grab like something like a Varus or a Caitlyn, like something that can play the range game a lot more effectively, and just bully your opponents off of objectives. Like it's still, Ezreal or Varus, I think, like because they can be less committal. They don't have to get quite so close to the Amumu to or the brand or the Any. And I think then, like again, there's not a lot of sustain if there's not any sustain on the side of Sad Jellyfish. So then you can actually play that range war a little bit more effectively. But as it stands, again, like I think you kind of lose the standard front to back. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe the sustain is going to be enough that it doesn't actually that Sad Jellyfish can't punch through them. But I think actually like indexing a little bit more into that poke and just playing like the bullying game around those objectives would be a lot more effective.
yeah. Um, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, and I still have just like no clue. Okay, it looks like this is an actual Annie bot lane.
Yeah.
So
No one expects
Oh,
the banana.
really? We've got the brand support item. It could be Akshan mid.
it is auction.
If you look at his
I mean,
position.
that is Salt. So
Sorry, I thought you said Akshan Annie bot lane, and I was confused.
no. I think it actually looks like the Brandy bot lane,
Yes.
which is this is gonna be interesting. I'm actually may focus down here a little bit because I just don't know if they can they punch through the enchanters? Can the enchanters
It's
outreach
fire versus
them?
sustain.
Yeah, that's true. It is a fire bot lane.
I think what we're gonna see is when we see like either Annie or Brand get a stun. I think that's gonna be like the indicators. Is are they able to like actually like bully the enchanters low enough, or are they just gonna be able to like shrug off the damage and say, yeah, we'll just stay in lane and keep farming, and you'll lose your health.
Yeah, I think most of the lanes, and you can correct me, even though it's been a while. Like it's about really dodging like Soraka's Qs. I think
Yeah.
like can really either make or break the Soraka lane overall.
Yeah, I like to think that like Soraka lane is actually in some ways like very similarly to Swain, where it's all about that one skill shot, and if they keep landing it on repeat, that's basically like the lane is going to be won. Aside from outside influence or like big mistakes, and if they can't get those skill shots to land, then you have a lot less pressure in the lane, and it becomes a lot easier for the non-Soraka lane.
Oh no, Muma comes up here.
Very early gank from Mumu.
Yeah.
Really preying on Dibby here. He's not getting okay. I was gonna say if he managed to. Oh, I've got that backwards. Yeah, if Jax managed to come away with first blood out of that, that would have been a bit of a tilter.
Yeah. And I don't play Fizz that much. I mean, I play him more as a counter pick, but it just feels like Akshan's going to be able to really push this lane, move it around, and maybe impact the map on roams and stuff. Now knowing that top has no summoners, but
Or he can, do his best to roam away from the lane
or
in his
just get
attempt not
solo
to
killed by this fish.
die.
Okay.
Dude, that's a caster curse if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like Akshan could play the range game in the Fizz and be okay, but it was disrespected a little bit. Oh, we got the Brandy going in.
Mhm. So we got the ignite and the flash in trade for just the flash, not even the heal. Interesting to see teleport on both bot lanes. Like I feel like it makes sense on the Seraphine. Like you're not really playing to fight. You're just like happy to exist there. But I would have expected like the Brandy lane to be looking to play more aggressively and try to get kills. Like we even saw the Brand flashing forward and igniting there. Oh, we do have a wraparound for the Amumu and Soraka no flash.
Oh,
Interesting.
man, these... Okay, well that was the Soraka Seraphine combo coming into play there. With heal.
I don't like to call people out. But if Haku's bandage toss had hit the CC'd Soraka, I think that becomes a very different story as well.
Yeah, it looks like they weren't 100% on the same page there, with
Yeah.
Annie flashing forward and stunning, and Amumu wasn't ready for it.
And you know, it happens. Like I've seen far more egregious plays. I've been parts of far more egregious plays too.
Yeah.
They still got control of the lane, so they can back, and then Annie might not even have to use her TP, which is not bad at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would have been perhaps a little bit more, especially if you're planning on having this kind of control over the wave. It might have been more in line with their goal to take another combat sum instead of the TP.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Seraphine just does just wave here. It's,
Yeah.
you think playing against like Aesol or anything else is boring? Like I think Seraphine's like the most boring thing to play against. Maybe almost as bad as Malzahar. It's just press
I'm
two
glad I
buttons.
don't have to deal with Malzahar in the bot lane.
I mean, were you playing during?
Well,
the
I'm sure
Malzahar
like
support
people will
era?
play it, but I haven't dealt with it. And I play Alistar anyways, so like, you know, if he's ever mid and I don't have to deal with the laning crap that he does, then it's like, yeah, you know, like I can combo him even through spell shield. I can ignore his ult. It's a good time.
Yeah. It looks like we got the Amumu on the grubs right here. The grubs would be massive for Sad Jellyfish's comp.
Yeah, he's got a bit of control in top, and mid looks to be somewhat even, so I think he should be able to get away with it.
This Fizz is pushing around Akshan. Maybe I disrespected.
Is
the
it that
Fizz.
ignite diff?
It could be. I mean, he got the solo kill, so it already felt like the ignite was worth it.
Yeah.
So, but also we could see like an early wits end on this Akshan and really be able to push his Fizz back maybe after some MR.
It's possible. We've also got another early Drake coming out of the Nuggets here. I don't remember what the gold diff was in the last game, but this is looking, I think, a lot more stable. Definitely less kills at this point, which is,
Yeah.
you know, not bad for the team that's trying to just go passive with the enchanters, I think. Especially with the scaling jacks in the side lane.
Yeah. Also note, Zach is not going Leandries that we occasionally see on some of these tank junglers with some AP scaling. So.
Again, I'm not convinced that I like that decision. I do think that they could use a bit more damage in that comp. I'm still not convinced otherwise, but you know, if they prove me wrong, I'll be happy to see it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. Like he is the one going in, so tank stats are definitely going to benefit him, but it's also a fairly low damage comp coming out of Denver Nuggets outside of the Fizz if he gets a hit.
Yeah, which he has gotten that first kill, so you know he's off to a start on that for sure. We've got a gank with the Amumu potentially coming to bot lane here, with Akshan roaming down too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Akshan could be going static shift first. I'm not 100% sure.
They are coming over Vision though, so I do think that the Nuggets are actually prepared and looks like they're respecting this, which is good. Unless they get dove, Zach is moving over to a red buff here. It's Brand Flash again. Is that even gonna be
No!
enough? Okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Arcane Comment helped out. Tibbers doing their best there. Zach was just a little bit too late on the counter gank there. But we
That was still very close. I think if that Soraka managed to stay alive, like it was very close. Like with the sustain, if she didn't just burn down there, I'm not even certain that Amumu re-engaging would have been enough. Despite the early kill, it looks like Jax is actually still having control of the lane, which is, you know, good for him. The CS gap is only growing though, actually.
Yeah, it looks like Dippy's doing a really good job of keeping the lane like right in this general area, though he has it pushing away from him now. Wonder if he's gonna go an early like Bramble Best or Sunfire to try and fight back with his Jax a little bit.
Maybe. I'm wondering if he's just gonna try to gold diff him.
Good. Mumu not going Leandries either. Also interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen the ignite up.
I guess the. Oh yeah. So I guess that the Bramble will help with the clear on both. So that's probably why we're seeing those first. Or not, why am I saying Bramble? Bombies.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see if they go into the Andrews next then, I guess.
I think it might be too late to go to Leandry's there. I mean, I'm not a jungler, so I don't know if just the one tank item in the offensive stats is going to be enough. Looks like they're trying to make a move on this Fizz here. I mean, despite giving up a kill, Zakshan's still fairly even in lane. Let's just see what he wants to itemize here. Will tell a pretty big story. I would like to see like Merc Treads, Wits End, something like that on this back, so he doesn't have to be as super perfect on positioning against his Fizz.
Yeah. Grubs are coming up again. So you see Akshan basing and betting he's going to come back and like try to generate priority for that. Zach's already in the area.
See if the supports try to back and roam up.
It looks like Akshan's not even going to use his TP. But this could just go uncontested over to Zach. We'll see. I think Poppy's going to suss it out.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good stun. This Poppy does so much damage.
Yeah.
Burn the Zach ult, which is massive.
And then Amumu's making play on the bot side here as well. Not even concerned about the Grubs at this point. His ult is back up, and he does have flash, so once this wave crashes, they can look again.
Oh, they're looking to 4-man. See, that was Salt's TP on Akshan. I don't think you want to go in there, Fizz. There's a lot of lockdown there.
Yeah, that's the second one going over to Salt there. Or no, he only got the one. But his TP getting rewarded. You always love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the worst thing in the world when you're TPing to help your bot lane. They just die before you complete the TP and you're just sitting there.
How do you feel when they get the double kill before you complete the TP and you're sitting there?
It feels bad. And Dippy turning away this 1v1.
Yeah, he's just starting to run away with it.
Yeah, that early gank top allowed him to get some early armor.
Yeah, this is where in solo queue you see the all chat where it's like jungle diff FF and then like a summoner has disconnected.
Yeah. Boy, that's the CS gap grew for top lane quite a bit.
I'm wondering how much of that came out of the first blood and how much of that was because you were talking about how you think like Dippy is one of the premier top laners here in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, Dippy. Again, I don't know if you have a second to go back and look at, but is this again a unique champion by Dippy?
Let me take a look. I think it might be. This is just Dippy's Champion Emporium. Yeah, it's another new one.
Like,
what do you think? Is he gonna go all the way through the entire split without repeating a champion, or is he gonna pull a like a Darduck on Dignitas from like a few years ago, and eventually we're gonna see a bit of repeat?
I don't know. I mean, he has continuously shown proficiency on different champions, different styles, everything. Yeah, just another stellar performance by him, especially in lane. After giving him first blood, like that first gank, he started to just open this up.
Yeah, so basically, I think the moral of the story here is if you want to deal with Dippy in draft, you either ignore him and don't ban him out, or you burn all.
On the bot lane.
Yeah.
Focus that Annie, but brand damage. Okay. Oh, Soraka gets out. We were talking about these enchanters. Oh, never mind, Tibbers.
Yeah, it's just a lot of damage coming out of Annie and Brand. It's gonna be really hard to deal with, especially with how fed they got early. Yeah. Yeah, no shortage of damage on the Branny side of things. That's for sure.
Yeah. And even like the item synergies, like Brand slowing everybody down, so they have to sit in Malignance and Tibbers.
Oh goodness, yeah. Makes it way easier for Amumu to find a good engage too.
Yeah, and then Amumu just pops ult, and his passive amplifies their damage more.
Yeah.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Like, I like what Denver Nuggets showed. I mean, they did really well, especially in the mid lane, getting an early kill on the Fizz.
Yep.
I see Akshan's got an all magic mantle, so he's going to start getting a little tankier. This is to deal with.
Yeah, and there's not really much AD aside from the Jax, and then with with Haku's presence up on top earlier, like that's unless we go much later in the game, it's likely to not really be a factor for quite a while.
Yeah. Seraphine getting to Blackfire Torch though, she can start to push a lot of these waves back. Oh.
We got more action.
Oh. That damage.
Yeah. So again, I think if the enchanters were able to stay even, like if they hadn't gotten dove on multiple occasions, or if they had managed to stay alive and be able, yeah. They just don't want me to talk about the enchanters, I guess.
No. Yeah, they punished this double enchanter bot lane really well this game.
Yeah, yeah, they really did. I think Haku saw the draft and took it personally.
I think Dippy's just got a list like above his monitor of like already played this.
Yeah, well, that's the question is at this point, like, do you feel like you need to address him in the draft, or right? Like you might have to burn like all 5 bans against him, and then if he still wins, then he's going to be feeling really good about himself, or you can just leave it and hope that he eventually like keeps trying to pick unique things and finds one that he's not quite as proficient on, right? Like at this point, like if he's actually going for that, then banning might not even matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can almost treat it like fearless. Like if he's not going to play repeat champions, then you can already start to mark off what he's already played, and then ban other stuff.
Dippy's LOL Midwest Challenge run. That's what we got right here.
Oh, good engage by Zach. All right.
Okay. Brad stepping a little bit too far up in the jungle here. I think Mark Cutie forgot that he wasn't the Braum from last game and is a little squishier.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Cutie's had a lot of amazing performances this split, but they've been primarily on tanks.
Yeah, I'm not actually saying he forgot his champion.
No. Just kind of left his Zach out there. Well,
Maybe not. Maybe he's out. No, the Mumu is very sticky, and I think that the okay, yeah, Fizz things.
Spree.
yeah. I have a lot of issues.
So Zach saved Fizz life.
Fizzy.
Pardon me?
Sorry. I have a lot of issues with Fizzy.
Oh yeah,
But who doesn't?
Fizz mains.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it should dodge turret shots. I don't think it should dodge projectiles in the air.
Yeah.
No, that crap. Yeah.
We might get another.
Oh.
Okay, flash for flash. Not
Yeah.
bad, not bad. And to be fair, if you are gonna fight, you might as well do it now before he gets to go back and spend all of his gold.
That's true. And, speaking of gold, let's look at we got roughly about 8,000 gold lead. On the side of Sad Jellyfish again.
Could be wrong, but I feel like this is actually closer than last game. So I don't want to be patronizing, but I think they actually did manage to improve their game plan a little bit and not get caught quite so often in neutral territory, at least.
I thought there for a second like Zach was tanky enough to wait for E cooldown, but no. Once Timbers came out, that Amumu passive plus Malignance lowering Yamar just burned through Zach's health very quickly.
If Soraka had ult up, then maybe it becomes a different story.
Yeah.
That is one thing actually that I do kind of like about the Nugget draft here. Again, even though I do think that either a little more damage or a little bit more like poke index would have been good. When you're running like all of this sustain, having the Soraka R to cleanse off any grievous wounds, it's gonna be nice. Unless they kept that, right? They didn't revert it.
I believe they did, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I tested my knowledge there.
Well, if Soraka R still does the cleansing of grievous wounds, then again, when you're already indexing so heavily into that with the Zac on your front line and then like the two enchanters. It is nice that one of them potentially can do that.
Yeah. And I know he got a solo kill early in the game on this Fizz. But just looking overall at the team comps and how they shook up and interacted with each other, I think Fizz was okay for lane. I don't think going into the rest of the we got a big fight here on top side.
It's a lot of damage and a lot of healing, and Jax gets to survive.
Yeah. I just don't know
Blue team's
if Grey Ghost had anything else. I'll say that now, and we got Duel of the mid laners, which they have been fighting.
Yeah.
It seems like all game.
For sure. Ignite is up, so maybe he can make something happen. But I think it's more gonna be.
Yeah, I just don't know.
You know, as sad as the sad mummy.
I just don't. I'd be curious to think if looking at it all over again, if Grey would have had something else in the back pocket to pick. I don't know.
Well, again,
champion pool, but
I think the hardest thing is it's not that there aren't champions that like Fizz can assassinate in this game, but you either have to go through Poppy and Mumu, and then like over top of the CC from the Brandon Annie, we got another duel going on in the top lane here. Looks like it's just gonna be Poppy saying, "Jax, no, you still haven't scaled up well enough. I'm just gonna walk you all the way down to your tower." So, but you either have to do that or you have to find a flank angle, and if your team doesn't get ahead or at least stay even enough to like have control over those objective spaces and like be able to find pockets outside of vision to find flanks on, then I don't really see a world where you can get onto the targets that you need to get onto.
yeah, I agree. I think playing Fizz into that comp, even to kind of think about it a little bit more, if you do fly flank angles, what's stopping Poppy W from just locking you down, grounding you for another second, and then like Annie stun, ult? Like I just don't. I know it looks like he's proficient on champion. He plays it well. He took advantage of.
Got that
of
nice
the
kill
matchup
in the
early.
early game.
Yeah, got the nice kill prior to even hitting level 6, which I know Fizz kill pressure spikes up a lot in level 6.
Oh yeah. Okay, so no resets allowed.
Brand Andy just does an insane amount of damage. But we got Zac on the re-engage here.
And then we're under tower. We got
Oh,
a root
nice
on,
Zac Q.
This might actually be a big turn here.
Yeah. Let's see if he can. No, can't keep the Zac up.
He still got the passive, so maybe. Poppy's coming around from behind.
And I think that's what we talked about earlier. Was just not as much consistent damage. But
Right, exactly. And then on top of that, like it's all the same type of damage. Again, kind of outside of the Zac, or sorry, the Jax, I mean. But again, the red side here, the sad Jellyfish managed to take care of that issue early and just kind of like popped a pin in that balloon before he got inflated.
yeah, attacking the only AD threat in his comp, and then putting him behind enough that Dippy could exploit it, and then just diving these utility support spot lane. Looks like that's what they wanted to come into this game doing during the load up screen. They did it quite well.
I'm also really liking the Abyssal Mask on Haku right now. Does that... Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if they've changed it again, but like that still does amplify magic damage or reduce like magic resist on your opponents, right?
It does. It lowers MR by like 30, I think. We hover over it by 30%. And for each enemy afflicted, you gain 10 MR. So,
Yeah, so I really...
pretty cheap item. They wanted it to be like a supportive MR item, so not too expensive.
Yeah. So I'm really liking the Mumu pick into this comp already with the Annie and the Brand, right? But then like on top of that, you throw down the Abyssal Mask and you reduce their magic resist. You got the Sunfire, so on top of like all the crying damage and the cursing and what that not that's going on with the Amumu. Then you've also got the Sunfire damage. So basically, Amumu stands on you. You're already taking a lot of damage, and that's like
Oh,
before Grandin starts throwing stuff over. That's a huge engage.
They might be able to get on this Annie. Oh, Annie
Yeah,
falls.
that's Annie gone.
Let's see what these supports can do. Oh, they pinned the Soraka. Oh, big engage
That is
here
a
by
massive
Jax.
stun from the Jax way.
But they booted him out of the fight. Now let's see if these supports can keep the Zac up. Oh, they cannot.
No passive, and then now we got the resets coming. And just if they wipe them here, that could just be game. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna happen though.
Okay.
Akshan doing Akshan things.
Yep. That was a good effort by Denver Nuggets there. They found a pick on the Annie. And
No, those
took
were
her out of the fight.
really solid multi-man engages. Like the engage, the initial one, and then the re-engage both were also like really good. But again, it's just I think a little bit too late. They're a little too far behind. So if that was like from an even point, like that should have been a one-team fight.
Zac with the Spirit Visage now. All of the healing that's going to happen on him gets amplified even more now.
And the Hollow Radiance too.
Yeah. And not really many Grievous Wounds options coming out.
We've got the Morellos from Mark
Oh,
Cutie.
I stand corrected. I did not see that.
Yeah,
Look at
he's
that
been sitting on the
healing
Oblivion for a while.
3K.
But still, again, with the Soraka ult, I'm sitting here saying this, I'm still wondering if it still does this or not. But if the Soraka ult does cleanse the Grievous.
Let's just hover this for a second. Oh, spectator, help me out. No, it does not cleanse Grievous Wounds anymore.
Oh, okay, never mind. So I've just been spouting lies the entire game. Got it.
I wasn't 100% sure on it either. It's not it's not a champion I play often, if
For
at
sure.
all. So I knew at one point it did,
Mhm.
but I think they got rid of it.
They did.
Yeah. So
I've actually got a bit more vision than last time. Last game I pointed out, like with all the control, that like it felt like the blue team here, the Denver Nuggets, couldn't really get a lot of like meaningful vision. But they've actually got a few wards sitting in their own jungle, like in and behind the sad Jellyfish vision line. So they actually will have a bit of information in terms of like who's hiding where, or like if somebody tries to like slip back into Fog of War during a team
big
fight.
engage by Zac. There's a combo you talked about, Zac and the Seraphine ult.
Yeah, they've tried that a couple times now. I think that ended up being the downfall of Annie both times.
Oh, and they just booted Zac out of this fight. Redemption only hits one person here, so that's a
Did you
lot
see
of...
the Zac fly by the camera like that?
Yeah, that was
It
actually...
was like a Smash Brothers moment there.
Yeah.
That's a highlight for sure.
Yeah, I might clip that. But, yeah, I mean,
That's
that
very
was
likely going to be the Baron.
it looks like it, yeah. I mean, they have consistent damage with this Akshan. They're not too worried about Fizz jumping in or anything. I mean, though Fizz has completed his Zanya, so he can get a little more gutsy now.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, I do want to give some credit here to Denver Nuggets. Like again, like they've had multiple fights now where they either got a pick early or they got like multiple multi-man engages, and I think that if they can just like add a bit more stability to their early and mid game. So whether that means having a jungle move down to protect against dives or finding different ways to like have more pressure on certain parts of the map, I'm not certain. We've got actually another play going on. There's a big collapse from inside here. I don't think this is going to end well.
Looks like sad Jellyfish are going to get to this fight sooner, though. Oh, and he jumps in with the brand passive to slow them. That's a lot of flashes.
Yeah.
3 flashes. Seraphine ult kind of delays this a little bit, but Amumu does not care.
No, he does not.
Yeah, they're just overall too far ahead. that they can make
Yeah.
a play on the tankiest member there.
hmm So again, like there were some really good plays, but it just kind of got to the point where it was wallet dip. So if they can
Yeah.
find a way to stabilize or to play more stable early, I think they might actually be able to clutch out some wins because like Sad Jellyfish is one of the top teams in the league, right?
Yes. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
last year's defending champs, and they're currently, I believe, 3-1, 2-1.
Okay.
They lost last week to Insane Bananas, I believe. I did cast
Mm.
that game, but all these teams are blurring together, so I apologize there.
Yeah.
But let's go to the client now. Boy, Dippy,
But yeah, can
25k again on a tank.
sheesh. What's Poppy really count exclusively as a tank? Like I feel like she can kind of be a fighter, right, or a bruiser.
She didn't build. She built all tank.
Oh, okay. So we're getting the Cassante effect, except it's coming from extra gold rather than just BS.
I mean, they did put some resources. They gave what Poppy the first blood, if I remember
They did,
correctly.
yeah. There was that early gank from Haku. You know what? I gotta give props to the Amumu for being all over those side lanes, by the way. I don't know if I recall a single play in that laning phase where he showed up to a lane and somebody on the enemy team didn't die.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so obviously the congrats to Sad Jellyfish here, but I do think that there is at least a little bit of hope for the Denver Nuggets. Is that what they are?
Yeah,
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 Denver
it's Denver
Nuggets. If they
Nuggets.
can, if they can make it to late game a little bit more even, I do think that some of their team fight setups were looking pretty solid.
Yeah, yeah, I 100% agree. Especially that team fight right outside of their base gate.
Yeah.
They had a really good pick on Annie, and once they got her out, it looked like the fight was pretty even up
Mhm.
until the Poppy ult booted Zach out.
Yeah, that was a fun
But
moment.
yeah, so this makes Sad Jellyfish go to. Let me pull up the standings real fast. Sad Jellyfish will go to 3-1, and Denver Nuggets is now 0-4. So hopefully Denver can pull out at least two or three more wins and potentially go for a tiebreaker to get into playoffs.
It all starts turning around next week.
Yeah, next week
Yeah.
they have to play Scorched, which I think they can be very competitive with Scorched. Though Group A is a tough group. Um,
Just kind of like the group of death, or
I mean, you can kind of call it that. I mean, there's still a lot of good competition in Group B, but Group A seems like they have just not only just a lot of aggression, but just really just good high quality games. And the teams look like they come into these games knowing exactly what they want to do and what they want to execute. Um, but yeah, there's a bunch of matchups that were 2-1s that I would not mind seeing again. But top four teams do make it into playoffs. It is single elimination. Um, so yeah, Denver Nuggets could possibly get at least end their season off great with 2 wins. Um, that would be fantastic, and maybe they can disrupt all of the log jam up top. So
oh yeah,
um, their
they
game
had that
next.
early play in the game one too with the Jin getting the kill. That was pretty solid.
Yeah, the bot lane played really well that game one. There's a lot of resources on Jin, and I know Camille got a kill or two, but she just couldn't hold back
hmm
Dippy's Renekton. So, um,
And there was also that tragic play where she like almost killed the jungler,
mhm.
or or was that the yeah? I'm trying to remember who flashed back on the other one in that first gank, but I think that was Renekton getting ganked and flashing that time. So I might have something
Yeah,
backwards
Camille
here.
was chasing Kindred, and then
Right.
Renekton showed up and kind of body blocked and shut that down.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah. So good showing by Sad Jellyfish, and gotta give props for Denver Nuggets as well.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so, but my friend, I do appreciate you joining me on this.
Of course.
You know, appreciate it as always, man.
I'd say anytime, but I don't know if I'm that confident.
Nah, I know I've asked you a couple times before, but I do do greatly appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I
Yeah,
always
you
like
bet, man.
talking league with you. So,
Appreciate
but
it.
yeah, we got two more series tonight. Looks like Load the Cannons and BBL from Group B have a game tonight, and then our late one is Small Brains versus Summoner's Drift, which
And are those going to be streamed here on YouTube, or where can these folks find more games if they want
I
them?
think we're going to stream. Uh, we're going to stream Load the Cannons and BBL on Twitch. I think Hairwiz says he was going to try and stream that up there. But
All
if
right.
not, I'll try to stream it here on YouTube. And then I know Hairwiz is actually playing in Small Brains Summoner's Drift. He is the jungler for for Small Brains, which that I believe is going to be an amazing series to watch. If I can't find anybody, I may just go at it alone and at least get those games out there. But regardless, we'll try to get these games recorded. If we don't cast them, we'll at least try to get the spectator just up on YouTube. I know Hairwiz and myself are really trying to get all the content out there and grow this league to what it was. Because
Yeah, you guys have been doing a really good job of covering all the games. Actually, it's kind of crazy how many series have been uh, online already.
yeah, we try to do the best we can. I know Hairwiz is taking this task up, and I'm doing what I can to help him. This was the first time I actually streamed one with all the overlays and everything. So, um, yeah, we're just trying to do what we can to grow this league. I know when we played in the rec league, we always liked going back and watching the VODs and getting some info out of it.
Right on.
Plus, I like to heckle your brother when he was streaming and casting. So,
Who doesn't?
that's fair. So, but my friend, you got anything else to kind of end this off with?
Yeah, remember to draft comps that are cohesive and words save lives.
Of course, the support guy says that. So, but much love, my friend. I do greatly appreciate it, and
Of course.
we'll get this up on YouTube. Hopefully in the next like 48 hours. I might load it up tonight, but if not, we'll see. So, but
For sure.
Penz, like I said, I appreciate it, my friend,
Of
and
course.
we'll see you
And
next
thanks
time.
everyone for tuning in as well,
Yeah,
making this a cool event.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate it. So, alrighty, sir. Signing off.
For sure.